you have any idea on what it takes to be successful? You know I do. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be a 2-time online hip hop artist of the year, if you would have told me 5 years ago that I am #1 online on social media, on billboards, and in the whole entire world, I would have said, nah, that's not for me. But it's through God's grace that I am the #1 online hip hop artist of the year. It's through God's grace that I'm a hip hop artist. It's through God's grace that I'm a preacher, and it's through the good Lord Himself, Jesus Christ, that I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with that sweet Holy Ghost. And it is God's grace that I am the hip hop preacher. I told the whole entire world that the first time in 2015 last year was not a fluke. But to win it twice in a row, that takes pure passion, it takes pure desire, and it takes pure cleanliness. I mean, for example, if you want to talk cleanliness, let's talk about this. And this scar right here represents everything that what I had to put up through. In 2012, I had colon surgery. But by God Himself, He saved me and healed me from that. And if you want to talk about genetic body, a manly body, with genetically muscles and genetically triceps and biceps, this is the guy right here, Poncho Blazin Atm. And for the haters and naysayers that's doubt me over the years, if you ain't listened to my raps, or if you have listened to them, but just choose not to say anything bad, good about them, well, then you're listening to the wrong artist. Because I don't do this for money. I don't do this for power. I don't do this to get a bunch of women in bed. I don't do this to say, oh, I'm the best in the world. I don't do this because I say, you're going to obey me, you're going to worship me. I do hip-hop music for the impact. Because I am the impact player. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at this. Nobody has been able to take this away from me. Nobody. A gift given to my dad, from my dad, James Ben Holland. And he passed the torch to me. And with this right here, this guarantees my victory as an online hip hop artist of the year in 2015 and 2016. So if you have any doubts at all, well then, all I can say is keep blazing and always have God in your life. But, you know, even the ones close to you, you have to walk away from. Even the ones close to you can't have next to you when it comes to being a hip hop artist and the hip hop preacher, and a preacher by is. Because a lot of people out there say, hey, don't do hip hop music with preaching, or hey, now you know you can't be a hip hop artist and a preacher. Well, you know what? Through God's mercy, through God's love, maybe it's His will for me to be the hip hop preacher. Maybe it's His will for me to be the online hip hop artist of the year. And maybe it's His will for me to have a genetically perfect body. And maybe it's His will for me to be the next hip hop star in the world. Because I've already conquered online and social media. Now it's time to take things to a whole new level. And it's time to start hitting televisions. And it's time to start getting stages. But most of all, it is time to see souls saved and come back to the Lord. It is time to see people being delivered, set free, and healed. And it is time for the church people to rise up, take a stand, and communicate and fellowship with each other. And we need to combine in unity. So if you think that my rap is still crap, if you think that my hip hop is still terrible, if you think that my bars is not on point, if you think that my lyrics is repetitive, well then go ahead. You can keep on saying the same old thing over and over. And the little story to tell you, when it comes to ball games, whatever, as a little kid, I was always picked last. When it came to events or doing whatever, I was always picked last. When it came to dancing with women and dating or whatever, I was always picked last. But you know what? Oh my. What a turn. What happens when God puts me at number one, when God puts a loser at number one, and when God puts a nobody at number one, when God puts who He wants to put as number one. Because I'm going to tell you something, through God's grace, I will still represent the world, I will still represent the nation, and I will still give back to the people. And ladies right here, let me just say, if you want a godly man right here, if you want a man with a perfect body, and you can keep his body in shape, if you want a guy who has them beautiful, sexy eyes, if you want a guy, if you want a man, a true man of God, well then here I am, Mr. Blazin.